Hello everyone, this is Chris with the Boneyard, and I almost became one. Alright, where have I been for the last 2.5 months? I laid in bed behind me here for a month, sick. Ankles are swollen, my legs are swollen, I can't hardly walk. Remind you now, this isn't as bad as what Mini Dreams has. My hearts go out to you, buddy. We're our brothers, right? Finally, on April the 13th, I decided to go to a clinic. As soon as the doctor at the clinic saw what happened, what I had going on, she sent me to the hospital. Now, I was supposed to start out as a 2-day visit. Ended up being a 27-day fun run, as it were. Emergency room cleaned the wound, which hurt like hell, by the way, just so you know. And when I say hurt, I mean it fucking hurt. Excuse my language. And from there, they did surgery on me. They did what they call a wound vac. For those who don't know, it's like a pump that they put on your leg on a wound, and it sits there and it constantly sucks out all the gunk, any infection or all that. When they found out in that course that I had a blood sepsis, I think they called it, so I had to do IV. I'm still doing it. This is called a PICC line. Let's see here. I want to move it for a second. This is called a PICC line. I don't know if you can see it or not. But it's still in me. That goes from right here, up my arm, into my carotid artery, under my collarbone, down and into the top of my heart. It's actually in my heart. Well, after they got done doing that, they put me in a room. I was in the bathroom, still knocked out. I was groggy as hell. Love the drugs they use. You know, if you need some rest, go to the hospital. And while I was sitting there, I couldn't catch my breath. So they got me to bed. Now here's where it gets foggy. I remember a doctor saying something, and they gave me a shot in my gut. I don't know what it was, but they brought me back. And the following morning, another doctor came in. They had to move the PICC line because obviously it went in too far. So that's what caused all this. When the doctor came in, said, "I heard we had a close call." And then he kept going on about my foot. And I was like, whoa, back up. What do you mean? He said that 2 blood clots had broken off and settled on either side of my lower lungs. I think they call them lobes, which caused me to not be able to catch my breath. And it caused my heart to speed up, which caused damage to my heart. My heart, they kept monitoring my heart, and my heart fixed itself, basically. It self-repaired. Well, as it went on, I asked them, finally, I said, somebody needs to tell me something. I found out this hospital here doesn't want to tell you anything, period. I don't care what it is. And I said, how close? And he said, well, it was close. I said, okay. How close did I almost die? Well, me and death weren't in the same room, but we were in the same building. Let's put it that way. So they got that PICC line in me. They're giving me intravenous antibiotics, which is very aggressive antibiotics. I'm taking blood thinners for the next 6 months. So while I'm working on my models, I have to be very careful about cuts. But I got my super glue, so I should be okay. Oh, because I could bleed out. I got my own blood thinners for the blood clots. Find out later that They not only had the 2 in my lungs, but there was 1 in my legs, or 1 in my leg. They didn't tell me about that one. Apparently they don't like to tell you much. So, I laid in that hospital bed for 26 days. Finally got independent movement. I could get up and down out of my bed on my own if I wanted to and get to sit in my chair. Ate good. I've lost 30, almost 40 pounds since this all started, so I'm getting kind of thin. I've dropped 2 sizes in my underwear. How's that? So they sent me somewhere else called Manor Home, which is a rehab center. Well, I found out something about the rehab center. When they ask you the psychological questions, you do not say yes to certain questions. Well, I said yes to a question. So they sent me back to the hospital for re-evaluation. Well, I was in there in this room, which is not very friendly, for a day. And I kind of got fed up about it. And finally, I told the people who set guard, they have 3 people that set guard. They each watch 2 rooms. If you so much as blink wrong, they call the security guard. Well, I've had about all I can take. It's rolling on about 4 o'clock. I said, all right, this is it. I've had all. I asked him, I said, why am I being held here against my will? Well, you're not. Yeah, I am. I can't leave. So I told him, I said, here's your choices. I want to talk to a doctor. If you do not let me go, you can take this pick out of my arm, give me some antibiotics, and I'll take care of myself, which I can do. Or I'll rip the son of a bitch out myself. Those are your choices. Well, we'll get the nurse. I said, I don't want to talk to a nurse, I want to talk to a doctor. Well, friends, I'm going to tell you something. Within 20 minutes, I was walking out the door. So I found out one thing. Kick up some room. They'll listen. So that's where I've been pretty much for the last 27 days. 28. I have to go back to the hospital every day to get my intravenous IV. I got all my other drugs here at the house. But I will tell you this, I got some cool tools while I was in there. I got this. What this is, I think it makes a cool radiator hose. You see that? It's even, you could paint it silver and highlight the end, or paint it black and highlight it. It's got that kind of pattern. It's a CO2 reader. And what it does is, it goes on the nose when they put it in your nose like that, and this little cup comes down here, up there in your nose. And this, don't ask me how, somehow reads the CO2 you're exhaling. I was on oxygen for what seemed like a lifetime because of the. Oh, I didn't tell you. I got sepsis in my blood and in my bone. So right now my leg is pretty much rebuilding bone. And of course everything else I'm fighting. And I got these. What they do is when they use a piece of equipment on you, they throw it in a gray bucket or bedpan or whatever you want to call it. They don't use it nowhere else. So you get the choice of taking it home. Well, model builder, you know how we are. Got these scissors, and I thought, you know, those would be great for cutting out decals. See? You get right up on that bad boy. And so there's that. You know, I got those. Actually got a smaller pair, but I thought I think I'm gonna like these better. I got some hemostats for, I don't know, and take 2. Let's see. I showed you the scissors, right, for decals. I got some hemostats for other uses you can use on models. You can use them shipbuild when you do the rigging. I had 3 pair of these pliers, tweezers. So that's where I've been. I'm doing all right. I haven't died. Didn't look like I'm going to anytime soon. Hi, Abby. I'm like I said, I'm nowhere near as bad as Mini Dreams, but he's like me. He's still kicking it. Hope you get a speedy recovery there, Minnie. Hopefully it's shorter than mine is. But you're dealing with some heavy shit, so I'm not even going to try to compare it. So you guys have a good one. This is Chris signing off. Bye-bye.